Hey guys, welcome to the Bluegrass benchwarmers. As you can see today, I'm going solo. Wanted to start today's show off by saying happy birthday, happy anniversary to the show. It's on March 1st. It was first 1 year anniversary birthday, so to speak, of the show. I want to thank everybody who had anything to do with this, whether you played trivia, checked out the Facebook page, Twitter, enjoyed some episodes, all our guests, 101.5 ESPN Radio, AT over there, Aaron Taylor, thank you for everything. The Louisville Bats, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, Kentucky Wildcats, anybody that gave the show anything, our two sponsors, Kingfish Restaurant, thank you, Big D, Donald Miller, Susan and Stephen Wheeler, Susie Soaps, check them out, buysusiesoaps.com. Anybody that, like I said, played the trivia one, played our fantasy football league, had anything to do with it, whether you were here setting up, you helped with the website, Jay, thank you so much. This was all my idea pretty much, and Jay came along and helped out. He did a lot of stuff. Pretty much, you know, that what we did with the show, you know, started it off, you know, by ourselves, made it today, made it what it is today. So for a short while, Donald was on the show with me when it was still Jay and Dookie show, and now Donald had to step aside for a little while. Hopefully he'll be back. He was still on our Super Bowl show that we did at Kingfish Restaurant. And now you all know my nephew Kevin Peters has stepped up. He's helped a lot. He's helped since probably the second or third episode with me and Jay, being our cameraman, director, sound guy, and everything like that. So thanks to everybody who supported us from day one, and to all the future fans, all the new fans. Thank you. So. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about some college basketball. Everybody knows we're big UK fans here on the show, but we also cover Louisville Cardinals and Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. As we all know, Kentucky finished the season 31-0, undefeated season. More than likely they'll be the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament starting next week. They finished #1 in the SEC, of course. They'll play at 1 p.m. Friday, March 13th. They'll play the winner of Alabama or Florida the night before. I think they play Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember when Alabama or Florida play. They finished 31-0 regular season, 18-0 conference, of course, like I said, #1 overall in the country and #1 overall in the SEC. The loss to Poitras in the season was, everybody was kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of people got doubtful on the season because, you know, all the All-Americans that stepped up that we recruited from last year, coming in as freshmen this year, stepped up, played their part. The white platoon, blue platoon, we see that going to the wayside now. Seeing Trey Lyles step up and starting on that starting platoon now, doing his thing, tearing up, playing that 3-4 role. Sometimes seems like he's stepping out playing the 2, shooting them long range jumpers. The big cat daddy, Karl Anthony Towns down low, just playing like a man child. The kid is a beast. I mean, nobody can stop him. A lot of people comparing him alongside Jahlil Okafor from Duke. I don't watch a lot of Duke games. I can't compare them, but I'm telling you right now, if they matched up, I've seen Okafor play once or twice, but I don't know. I don't think he could handle Towns. Towns has more of the defensive presence, so I think honestly if they went 1-1, I think Towns would win. It would be close. Okafor has more of the small forward tangibles, I'd say, with the moves. I'm not saying Towns doesn't have the moves. Okafor is a little more slim, you know, due to his height. I think he has a half inch maybe on Towns, but like I said, Towns with the wingspan and the down low presence, I mean, he can just take him down there, post him up, and do whatever he wanted to on him. So he has quick enough feet to guard Okafor also. So And then the Twins, at the beginning of the season, Tyler Eulis stepped up. Andrew was looking over his back at that starting point guard position, wondering if Eulis was going to take it over one day, get that starting spot. But I think that pressure on them have stepped up, and I honestly think that they're still the best backcourt in the nation just with the Twins. I mean, not even counting Eulis. If you throw Eulis in there with one of the Twins, and it's just still as dominant. Defensively especially, Eulis is just playing the point guard like everybody knew he could coming straight out of high school. The spark plug this year, I like to call him the worm, Marcus Lee. There's plenty of times in the game where their defensive presence was just kind of lacking and they weren't getting pumped up, man. And Calipari would put Marcus Lee in there and boom, instantly everything would change. So I look forward to Marcus Lee playing a lot come tournament time, SEC and NCAA tournament. Who am I missing? Devin Booker. Kid is a beast. He's got the size, the athleticism, the movement. I mean, he could do anything. You see it on some of his dunks. You need to see the athleticism. He could step beyond that three-pointer and just drain it. I thought at the beginning of the season that coming out of high school, everybody was saying Booker's a pure shooter. He can shoot. All the UK fans, Big Blue Nation, will be saying, "Who's James Young?" And I was like, man, I don't know. James Young was a pure shooter. I just don't know if it was that sweet left-handed shot he had. But Booker is, the numbers show it. Booker is shooting lights out. So I'm glad they brought him in. Willie Cauley-Stein is stepping up. I mean, it's hard to say that. I know yesterday was senior day, but you look at the juniors on the team. Poitras's still staying, and even though he's injured, he's still on the bench. He's still traveling some. So you can say that the veteran leadership is coming from Poitras, Cauley-Stein, and then I'm sure the seniors have some say in what needs to be done out there on the floor, because they're kind of like a coach sitting there watching with all the coaches watching the games, except for the last 25 seconds. But the team is looking good going into the NCAA tournament. So enough about Kentucky right now. Louisville last night upset Virginia, number 2 Virginia. Last second shot, Virginia had a chance with, I want to say, 3.5 to get the ball down the court. The kid threw the ball out of bounds. So a good break for Louisville there, bringing the ball in. I think I can't remember who it was got the ball. Rozier, I think, got the ball, got the foul shots or whatever, got fouled. So clinched the deal. But Louisville finished number 4 in the ACC, so they'll be going to the ACC tournament with a double bye. They won't play until March 12th, this Thursday, against first whoever wins out of Boston College and Georgia Tech will go on to play North Carolina. So Louisville will play the winner of North Carolina and whoever wins between Boston College and Georgia Tech. So speaking of that, speaking of U of L, I look for Louisville to either be. I don't think right now it's going to depend unless they end up getting, unless BC or Georgia Tech end up beating North Carolina and then beating Louisville. I wouldn't see. I think Louisville, the lowest seed Louisville can go into the NCAA tournament is a 6, and that's barring just them just getting beat their first game in the ACC tournament, which I don't see happening unless it's North Carolina. We know North Carolina's going to give them a good game. So North Carolina, Louisville, going to be a great game. I forgot to look up to see where they were playing their round. I can't remember where they're playing. I'm sure it's in North Carolina ACC tournament. So I'll have to give the edge to North Carolina. I just think they're going to come out and play awesome, but I don't think it's going to affect Louisville's seeding in the tournament anyway, being beat by North Carolina. But I'd say right now I have written down, I say Louisville goes into the NCAA men's tournament as a 4 or 5 or a 6 seed, 6 being the possible lowest, like I said. So, good luck to the Cards and the Cats in conference play, and the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers finished 5th in Conference USA. I don't think they're going to make the NCAA tournament unless they win their conference. And at a 5 seed, that's possible. They will play March 11th at 6 p.m. against number 12 Marshall. I see them beating that game. I don't look too far into their bracket, but I see them beating Marshall. I see them winning the next game. They're probably losing the next. But I mean, good luck to you, Hilltoppers. Just play your best, man. I know they got a good team. They got an outstanding team. I think they could win their conference and get into the tournament. Probably 11-12 seed. I mean, I don't see Conference USA tournament winner, being lower than 12. But you never know. They finished the season 12-6 in the conference and 19-11 overall. So I think that 19-11 overall will put them definitely 12. I don't see them any lower than 12 if they win their conference tournament and go into the NCAA men's tournament. So, our new segment on the show is "Oh, You Didn't Know." Sound guy's not here today. I didn't hook any of that stuff up. So we normally go into the Road Dogg Jesse James, Badass Billy Gunn, New Age Outlaw song. But today's "Oh, You Didn't Know" is, I bet you didn't know, on April 22nd, 2010, for a lot of you youngsters out there, almost 5 years ago, the NCAA announced a 14-year, $10.8 billion TV right deal with Turner Sports and CBS to televise every single NCAA men's tournament game, televise them nationally, all of them, every single game, for the first time ever. So that went into effect in 2011, and now you can see every single game. That's why every Wednesday or Thursday of the opening NCAA men's tournament, you can see it on True TV, TBS, TNT, wherever they play them at, CBS, all those other channels. So $10.8 billion. I couldn't imagine, but I couldn't imagine 10.8 million. But also be checking out our Thursday night trivia every Thursday at 7. Just go to the website. Just keep that in mind. Just go to the website. I post the reminders on Facebook what to do. Go to the website, go to the Contact Us page and put your answer in. Sometimes I'll post the questions on Facebook, sometimes I'm not. This week is going to be, you have to go to the website. I'm going to have a little video. I'm going to start doing a video just ask the question, and then you have to go to the Contact Us, watch the video, go to the Contact Us question, or section of the website, put in your name, put in subject, put in Thursday night trivia, and put your answer in, and we'll contact you and let you know if you want or not. So you'll have to check that out Thursday night at 7. Like I said, go to Facebook and like the Bluegrass Benchwarmers. I'll have it up right. I have it right up at 7 every single night. No mistakes, no messed ups like in the past. You can win Louisville Bats tickets. Louisville Bat season starts April 9th. The opening game at Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky. Be sure to check that out. We get these little vouchers for 2 tickets for field reserve seats. Now, I think they regularly go for $8 to $10, so $16, $20 savings right there for you and your family. That's in the prize thing. Get a Kingfish t-shirt, Kingfish gift certificate, Kingfish koozie for your cans. BuySusieSoaps.com, 50% off internet purchase. Go to BuySusieSoaps.com, check that out. We're kind of gonna do if you win, we'll contact you and then we'll see what you want. You can get 2 Bass tickets. Throughout the season, we'll be giving some bobbleheads away. If you're the sports type, if you want to give your wife a good prize, go to BuySusieSoaps.com, get her some soaps. They're real good soaps. I'm not gonna lie, I've tried them, I've used them. Yeah, I'm a manly man, but you won't notice by my hair. But this coming Saturday, March 14th, Kevin and I are going to Pritchard Community Center here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I can't remember how much we've already raised, but we've raised quite a bit of money to St. Baldrick's Foundation for Childhood Cancer. We're going there at 4. I think the event is from 4 to 7 at Pritchard Community Center, and we're getting our head shaved. So that's why my mini afro is growing out right now. Kevin's not here, but his hair kind of looks like this kid's right here. You see that? His is kind of dirty blondish. So I can't wait. My hair is just so long right now, it's bugging me. I've had to trim it twice. So what else we get into today? Not gonna happen. It's another one of our segments. Not gonna happen. We normally go over 2 things that we normally both have on something that we think is not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I think the first episode, this is episode 2 by the way, our first episode of the Bluegrass Benchwarmers, mine was Louisville's not going to make the Final Four due to the fact of their guard play. And if you haven't heard, they lost their top guard, Chris Jones, well, the point guard, Chris Jones, leading scorer at the time, due to some allegations, and the team released him. So right now they got Quentin Snyder, the boy out of, I think he went to Ballard High School here, Louisville, Kentucky. He's stepping up, doing a great job, in my opinion. Like I said, I haven't watched Louisville, but probably 3 or 4 full games this season, but 1 without Jones, and that was the one he was suspended. Hadn't been released yet. He was suspended for I think they said it was a team violation for missing a curfew or something. I can't remember with all the other stuff that's going on with him. But let's see. That's not going to happen this episode is a lot of people are suggesting that 2 ACC teams are going to make the Final Four this year. And of course, you know, I just said Louisville won't. This was mid-February. I think this was right after the Super Bowl when we did our episode 1. But a lot of people are suggesting that Duke and Virginia will both make the Final Four. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're either going to face each other, well, they're not going to face each other because I see both of them. Duke, even if Duke is a 2, they're not going to pair them up in the same bracket with Virginia. So, I think right now it's, let's see, who did I have in my top? Of course, Kentucky, Virginia. I think Arizona and Duke is going to be, I think Duke is pushing for that 2, but I don't think Duke, I mean, of course we've seen Duke beat Virginia, but like I said, I don't think they're going to be paired as a 1 and 2 in the same bracket, same region. And I don't think Duke can beat Kentucky or Arizona. I'm pretty sure they can beat Virginia. They beat them before, but I just don't see them beating any of the other ones. So if Virginia makes that far, like I said, I saw Virginia play Louisville last night, and it's the first game I'd actually seen Virginia play, so I can't speak for their team, but the way they played against Louisville last night, Louisville was playing okay defense. I don't think they were playing pressure or anything, because I know Virginia's been had good things said about them from their backcourt. You know, they're speedy. They're good in transition. They're one of the top transition teams in the country. Their defense is there just because they're speed. They don't necessarily have the length or the shot blockers, but you know, like Kentucky does. But I mean, defense, man, you get the fast defenses going in there, man, and you get the transition, you get the rebound, you get the block, and you're just outrunning. You catch teams flat-footed, you know, watching the rebound bounce around, and boom, he's not watching his guy run down the court. So a lot of people call that piggybacking, but it's not really. If your guard's at the top and big man gets a rebound, and you just have enough sense to run down the court and catch the ball and score. So that's not going to happen. Duke and Virginia, or 2 ACC teams, period, will not make it to the Final Four. So our next thing is what I'm going to talk about is Reds baseball. Everybody knows baseball is my favorite sport. Big Reds fan since I was a wee little lad. I love the bats as well, even when the bats, before they even became Cincinnati Reds affiliate in 2001. I liked them when they were the Brewers. Cardinals had them. They were the Redbirds. So I was just always into it because it was close, and those were professionals. You know, they're AAA level. As far as I know, Louisville's always had a AAA affiliate. So you saw the big names come down on rehabs, or you saw the big names come through there that you didn't know that were really going to be big names. You know, you saw their talent down there. You know, but I was, like I said, I was 18, 19 years old. So gosh, 18 years ago. You know, seeing players go through there and not even realizing, you know, hey man, that's Jimmy Rollins. You know, I got to see Jimmy Rollins at not Broadbent Arena, Redbird Stadium, right outside Freedom Hall there. Who else did I see? I saw Derek Jeter. He was with I think they were the Columbus Clippers at the time, the Yankees farm system. I saw him one game. Just various different names. You know, you see through AAA level. We've already got to see Kevin and I last year went family vacation. We went down to Tennessee. We got to see a Tennessee Smokies game. We were looking forward to seeing Chris Bryant, the Cubs up and coming, one of their top young players coming up, third baseman for the Cubs. He's already up there now with spring training. I want to say he finished the season with the Cubs, and George Soler, he was with Tennessee at the time, and he was kind of a showboat. He reminded you of Yasiel Puig, stuff like that, but man, he could hit the ball hard. And Addison Russell, who they got for the Jeff Samardzija trade with Oakland, they took Oakland's shortstop, Addison Russell, who was their top prospect at the time. And we saw him play down there, and he was just silky smooth shortstop. I think he only went we went to 2 games, Kevin and I did, and I think he probably went 1 for 6, so he wasn't hitting the ball that good. He was making contact, but just popping up or grounding out. So enough about the Cubs. We'll be talking about them midway through the season, talking about the Reds. But let's talk about the Reds. They started spring training on last Tuesday, against the Indians. The game 1 featured Jason Marquis, who's trying to vie for a starting rotation position since Homer Bailey, unfortunately, is not going to be able to start the season. More than likely, he'll be the number two guy in the rotation behind Johnny Cueto and just above Mike Leake. So I guess that's pushing Mike Leake up to the number 2 spot to start the season. So, but the other 2 right now, 3 spots with Bailey not starting, like I said, they look for him to come back mid-April, by the way. So he'll probably miss the first week, maybe week and a half. But I'd say definitely by the time it's his third time around, third spot, he'll be pitching. So, Jason Marquis was signed, free agent, 1-year deal, I believe. Wanted to come in that starting spot, and I was happy with his signing because Jason Marquis has that. He's a veteran. He's a righty. He can pitch. He can still throw hard. I think he was mid 96, 97 tops maybe. But he's got the breaking pitches, the changeup to go with everything, and he can hit. He's a throwing righty, batting lefty, which a lot of coaches don't like them to bat too much like that, because if the opposing pitcher pitches inside and hits them on the inside hand, that's their throwing hand. They're standing at you like this, bam, you get hit on the hand. Where you're a righty, you're gonna hit the knuckles. It's still gonna hurt. But you hit the outside of that hand, being a lefty batter. But man, he can stick. And besides Mike Leake, Homer Bailey can hit. I'm pretty sure he's hit 1 or 2 home runs since he's been with the Reds, and he's always about a high 190, 200 average hitter. So that's good in a pitcher. Only batting maybe 3-4 times a game. That's not bad. But look forward to having him. If he does win one of those starting spots, even if it is until Bailey comes back, I believe Marquis is one of the players you can throw in as a relief pitcher, middle relief, long relief, short relief, setup guy maybe. Who's got the closer role. So Cuban Missile himself. But I look for Marquis to be with the Reds coming out of spring training, whether it's an Alfredo Simon role, where he's a relief pitcher, middle relief, long relief, and if one of the pitchers happen to go down, I hope to God that doesn't happen, he can fill that starting spot. So either way, I look for him to be wearing a Cincinnati Reds hat this year. But, excuse me, in that game against Cleveland, he had 2 scoreless innings, only gave up 1 hit, had 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. He looked strong. He had his stuff. He looked healthy. Brian Price said, that's exactly what they were looking for out of him. The Reds had 15 hits and had 10 runs and shut out the Indians 10-0. So it was a real good game to watch. Missing baseball for that long, coming out and getting home to watch that game. It was on MLB Network, the first game, Tuesday's game. So it felt great to just sit down. The only thing I was missing was the smell of the cut grass and everything. So 2 standouts from that game were more than likely will be Louisville bats this year, coming down here to Louisville for AAA, starting off AAA. They look good already throughout the whole season. Brennan Bosch, he went 2 for 2 in that game, along with Chris Dominguez, the former Louisville Cardinal, third baseman. It looks like he can play that utility role, but he'll be doing that in Louisville, I believe, because I think Christopher Grown is going to stay with the Reds. He can play outfield and infield. I'm not sure if Dominguez can do both. A lot of people compare Dominguez to you know, a power, not really a power hitter, but they say he'll produce more home runs than Negron. And I'm like, well, I mean, Negron surprised everybody last year, you know, with a couple opposite field home runs. And man, he's just a smooth infielder. I can't remember really if he's played the outfield position. In Cincinnati, he did. He filled the role out in center or left, I believe, one game. And that's where his nickname Spider-Man came up. But other than that, I don't recall seeing him out there again, even in Louisville. I think he just played pretty much infield, second, short, you know, third sometimes, something like that. But pretty much that's it for the first game. The second game saw Anthony DeSclafani, one of the trades we got for Matt Latos. I don't want to be rude and say good riddance there to Matt Latos, but you know, a lot of people already know his speaking bad of the Reds, so to speak, talking about the clubhouse, giving them a bad rap. So he got to start that second game, which saw the leadoff batter, Billy Hamilton, go yard. I think it was like a 2-1 pitch. I want to say he went to right. I think, yeah, I went to kind of right center-ish. Right off the bat, fans started cheering and stuff. They knew it was pretty much over the wall. So that got him off to a 1-0 lead. So DeSclafani got the ball, and he also showed Brian Price that he could probably be in that starting rotation. You know, whether it be the fourth or the fifth spot coming in, he had great command. He was putting the ball where I can't remember who caught for him that game. I think it was Devin Mesoraco, because I don't think Brian Payne has got a start at catcher yet. They've been pretty much between Mesoraco and Tucker Barnhart. But he also pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, had 2 strikeouts, and no earned runs, despite them losing the game. A couple inferior. I think he gave up, I want to say 1 run scored on him, but it was off of an error, so an unearned run there. The defected Cuban Raciel Iglesias struggled with his command. He walked 2 and only struck out 1 in one inning. He also did not give up a earned run, because of 2 errors, 2 runs scoring off of errors. Off infield errors, I want to say. I think just throwing errors. So they definitely got to work on those coming up. I mean, that's what spring training is about. You know, the bunch of the people trying to make the team, trying to make the big club, are nervous, especially young guys. In the rubber match against the Indians, Cleveland poured on 12 hits for 9 runs, and the Reds had 3 errors. So their error total is just killing them. You know, they're all infield errors, which kind of stinks. But 2 bad throws by Carlton Dahl, fielding error by Eugenio Suarez. Like it just Bert Badenhop, who they got from the Red Sox, free agent. He pitched for the Red Sox last year. He looked good. He'll definitely be coming out of the bullpen for the Reds this season. Had 2 outs in the 5th inning, and I think somebody got a single with 2 outs, and then the next one was an easy ground ball, and Suarez just tanked the throw, or sorry, he didn't field the ball correctly, I believe. I can't remember what really happened, but caused an error, and then I can't remember who it was who got up for Cleveland, but they blasted a 3-run homer off Badenhop, and it just went down from hill from there. So he only got like 2/3 of an inning pitched. Brian Price came out and just went ahead and called up somebody else, called them to come in. So Cleveland pretty much chased him from the game. And then, let's see, those, I said those were 3 errors pretty much back to back, game to game. You know, so 6 errors in 2 games wasn't good, all from the infield, shortstop position pretty much. I can't remember, I want to say Frazier might have had a bad throw one game. They charged him with an error, or he had a ground ball or something. I want to say a third baseman. I don't necessarily want to say Frazier. We can't talk about our all-star third baseman that way. But and let's see, 4th game they faced the Cubs. They faced John Lester, the biggest free agent pitcher signing this year. Went to the Cubs for a lot of money. and Tony Cingrani got to face him. Cingrani pitched 2, struck out 2, walked 1, only gave up 2 hits. He was real good. Then once again, the Reds had 3 errors. Just poor fielding. The Reds won 5-2. So their spring record got put to 2-2 after that. So they did pretty good off Lester. I think he had a couple strikeouts, didn't give up any runs, but the Reds are known for come against that starting pitcher, they'll pick up on him come their second time around. So I think last year they were middle, if not up toward the top of batting average, rising throughout the game against the starting pitcher. So I didn't even look up any stats for yesterday's game, but they took the loss to Kansas City. They're playing the Mariners today. But so far, just a few of the standouts, in my opinion, for the Reds are outfielder Brennan Bosch. Like I said, he's hitting pretty good. He's as of Saturday, before Saturday's game, he was 3 for 6 in 3 games played, I believe. 4 RBIs and a home run, and only 1 strikeout. So he's tearing the cover off the ball. The infielder Chris Dominguez, the one I was talking about, former Louisville Cardinal. He was batting .667, 4 for 6, pair of doubles, scored twice, 2 RBI in only 3 games. So they're both playing well, but like I said before, depending on what Brian Price decides to do with the bench, I don't really see them. I don't really want to say don't see them carrying 3 catchers, but as I say that, I think they need to carry those 3, being Devin Mesoraco, of course, Tucker Barnhart, who played the majority of the year last year in Louisville. He's getting his shot this year. It's back up to Mesoraco, and then Pena. I think they're going to keep Pena to play first and be that 3rd catcher role, just to cover in case Votto. I don't think they're going to throw Votto in there. I think Votto will see 2 games out of each series, the first couple of series of the year. I don't think they're going to push Votto out there a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if late in the game you saw Votto come on to hit and then probably get pulled for a pinch runner. Somebody like Jason Bourgeois or Chris Dominguez sorry, not Chris Dominguez. I can't remember the guy's name right now off the top of my head. But they are definitely going to be using a lot of extra. I don't necessarily see them holding on to a lot of a bullpen help this year. I think, like I said, whatever they decide to do with that top spot once Bailey comes back, that guy's going to fill in the role as a reliever. So they're going to hold that spot for Bailey, of course. So on the 25-man roster, so I don't see them holding a lot of bullpen. I mean, they got Manny Parra, throwing lefty. If Cingrani goes to the bench, lefty. Paul Mahone, lefty. Mahone is another one of the ones I see probably starting in that spot. Another veteran guy, great command. He's a lefty. I honestly would prefer seeing Cingrani in there. Cingrani is compared to Chris Sale of the Chicago White Sox, so just his arm motion and he's got great off-speed stuff. He can throw the ball. I think his top 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball. They compared him to Chapman as in movement of the arm. I think he has a longer wingspan than Chapman, and it's coming from that side of the plate or that side of the release. So, not that it's awkward. I'm not saying it's awkward movement, but I mean, you can see that. And then talking about the 3 catchers, I see them keeping Brian Pena just to help Votto out. If they need that 3rd catcher, I think honestly he'll be on the. Pena will start with the club come regular season time as a catcher, first baseman, pretty much filling the role, and also he's been DHing a lot, so that's something to look forward to in interleague play. So the other guy is not coming off a great 2014 season. Right fielder Jay Bruce opened up the season 3 for 6, pair of doubles and a run scored. His only thing is when he hasn't put the bat on the ball, he struck out. I didn't look up to see which ones were strikeout swinging and strikeout looking, But last year he had a lot of strikeout looking, and I couldn't stand it because like protect the plate, But when he's made contact, he's been productive. So he's either striking out, or he's getting a double, or he's getting a single. So I'll take that any day. Either strike out or get on base. Period. Another one of the things I wanted to do was go over my top 10 list, pretty much in no particular order of I just want to do this kind of preseason. I don't want to say that it's right now what I think is going to be all year long, but I would say right now I'm going to rank the Reds, Cincinnati Reds, in my own opinion, 1 through 10 in their in what they need to do. The player that they need to be going into the season, and then not even midway through the season. I would say a month into the season when we do our next monthly show. Not necessarily April. Hopefully April we're talking about NCAA men's tournament still and baseball. But the one after that I'll probably update my top 10 list of players that need to fill that role for the Reds to be able to win this year. So my order right now is number 1 needs to be Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto is number 1. He's the ace. Other than Latos was the only one in my opinion last year. You could throw Bailey up close. But between Cueto and Latos, I would say it was, until Latos went down, you could say either one of those were the aces. But Johnny Cueto stepped up and he pretty much showed that he was the ace, finishing the season 20-9. He was first in strikeouts and innings pitched. So ERA was probably like 0.18 maybe, higher than Kershaw and some of the other ones that were up there for the NL Cy Young. He just needs to. He had a lot of quality starts. When your ace can go 20-9, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, he picked up his 20th win late in the season, late September. But hey, it still counts. He's healthy. He showed he was healthy. He wanted to get that 20th win. So if the Reds hit the ball this year, I could see him being a 23, 24 game winner, maybe 25. Just some of those wins were just, you compared his ERA to the runs that the Reds were getting last year, and he was doing all he could with little or no help. So hopefully this year he gets that help. But a lot of that had to do with my number 2 man being down, missing last year, like a lot of last year. I want to say they said he only got 60 games in, 62, maybe he missed 100, so yeah, it had to be 62. Joey Votto. MVP in 2010, National League MVP. I think he can come back to form being healthy. He got his first start yesterday. Like I said, I didn't get to watch it. It wasn't televised, but they said he slid into second late in the 3rd inning, maybe 2nd inning, to break up a double play. He popped right back up. So they said he's healthy. He's looking good. But like I said, I don't see him playing a lot more this spring training. They probably get him some swings, some simulated at bats, hitting him in the cages. He's not starting again today, so let them other guys fight for a spot on the team. But even though I believe that the first base spot will be Pena if Votto's not there anytime during the season, and hopefully it'll just be because of days off, not hopefully any injuries. But I believe Votto can step up and be. I think he's still an NL MVP caliber player. Not only the team MVP, just the whole National League MVP. Sorry, I'm pausing. I hear a car outside. And I don't think they're pulling in here. But anyways, my number 3 man is one of the National League representatives of the All-Star game last year, Todd Frazier. He got beat out 2 years ago in the Rookie of the Year race. He just needs to stay on par where he's at. He didn't have a bad season last year. The worst part of his season last year was only hitting 1 home run in the home run derby against Cespedes. So in the finals of that, but I think he only hit 3 overall. But he brings the pop. He's an all-star caliber fielding third baseman. He's got the pop. He's got the stick. He's a smart guy. So Frazier is my number 3. Number 4 is BP. That dude BP, Brandon Phillips. He's going to fill up the leadership role. Going back to Votto about the leadership role, Votto can be the leader on the field, I believe, but not necessarily the clubhouse. I can't see him being that guy, with anxiety issues after his dad passed away, this and that. I can see BP doing that. I believe that when Latos brought out all his stuff about the clubhouse, guys horsing around and everything, I could see him talking about BP doing that. But, if one of my things is if you can't have fun at work, if you're one of those negative Nancy, Debbie Downer people at work, always talking about work, get another job. I know there's a line between professionalism in the clubhouse. I know there needs to be that time when you need to just, some guys need to get psyched up. Some guys need to put their headphones on and, pump their music up, get themselves pumped up. But yeah, if you got that guy in the clubhouse, horsing around trying to pump everybody up, that's his way of trying to pump you up. And I think that's what BP brings. Not only, in my opinion, is he still the best second baseman defensively. I've felt that way for 7 years now. The guy's unbelievable. It's not necessarily the way he does his plays. He's the silky smooth glove. I mean, it's just his movements. He can run and get that ball, and just the way he gets the ball to first base. It reminds you of that point guard. He's like the Chris Paul at second base. Whether it's grabbing the ball when he needs to grab it, and hey, the quickest way to get the ball there is between the legs. Hey, he gets it there and it's on time. You can call it what you want, but the guy gets his job done. And his bat needs to come around a little bit, in my opinion. And I hate to say it, but I love Dusty Baker. I still don't realize why Brian Price was selected as the manager, but I mean, I'm not dogging him, but I believe Dusty needed one more year. But I mean, I believe what Brian Price is doing. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Brian Price is doing anything bad, but for them to just let Dusty go and then Brian Price come out of nowhere, in my opinion, was I mean, the team can do what they want to do. I'm not going to call it shady or anything, but there had to be a reason. I mean, the guy's a proven manager. He's not doing bad. You could blame a lot of last year on injuries. You can't help when players go down, and you can pick from AAA, AA, and bring your guys in, and not necessarily be able to sign free agents. But I think he's doing a great job. But BP, that 1 year it was the last year, the second year with Brian Price, he would be batting third this game, batting lead off this game, batting fourth this game, batting seventh this game. Starting 3 games in a row in the second spot. It's just throwing him around. Some games he was batting eighth. Sometimes he was just, I don't know. It was just there's a mindset for a baseball player, I believe, that I'm a power hitter. Put me 3, 4, or 5. Make them pitch around me. I know that 1 year Jay Bruce was tearing up because I want to say Votto was in that 4 spot, or the 3, and then Bruce was in the 4. And they were pitching around Votto to get to Bruce, and Bruce just had an amazing season. Votto not being there last year, Jay Bruce wasn't getting the pitches that he was seeing, and I'm not saying that's messing him up. I mean, he's a professional ball player, but he just wasn't seeing the pitches that he was used to seeing. And then, like I said, going back to striking out a lot has a lot to do with that. But BP comes in 4th on my list. So my number 5 man is the center fielder, the speedy center fielder, Billy Hamilton. He's getting. Brian Price has said this one thing going back to spring training that's kind of confusing to me is Price has been quoted as saying about wanting to be better on the base paths this year, not necessarily running the bases better, but being aggressive on the bases, stealing more. You got one of the fastest guys in Major League Baseball, that's your leadoff batter, that can get on base. Last year he got on base, he got a triple out of a bunt. It was a missed throw to first, but by the time the right fielder got to the ball, he was around his second going to third. And that's just amazing. That's just amazing speed to me. So, you're not going to want to, no outs with your leadoff guy on third, bunt the ball down, get a suicide squeeze. You got to hit him in. But I think 2 batters later, I think with 2 outs, somebody finally got a single, drove him in on that play. But back to the spring training thing, I'm getting sidetracked. But I don't think they've yet to steal a base in spring training. I think they've only got. I think Jay Bruce won and Frazier tried one. They both got caught. I want to say Jason Bourgeois tried, and he got caught. So they're like 0-3. And I'm like, okay, we're 5. Today's the 6th game, and you've only attempted 3 times. You've had base runners. Even the first game against Cleveland, they won 10-0. I think at that point I would like let the pitcher pinch run and try to. Well, I wouldn't do that, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at. Put Brian Pena on. You know, let him pinch run and try to steal a base at that point, just to get him some stolen base attempts. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Hamilton's speed helps him a lot. Get to the ball in center field, and that's what you need. You need the center fielder to cover the most ground, in my opinion, because he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the foul line. You know, he has from that guy to that guy. He doesn't have from that guy to the foul line. You know what I'm saying? He has a distance between guys, and I'm not saying that Jay Bruce or who I'm thinking is going to be the opening day left fielder, Marlon Byrd, bringing some pop to the team, are slow by any means. I don't think either one of them are slow, but they're not Billy Hamilton fast. So, and he has a decent arm. He was a shortstop coming up in high school, I believe, and he transferred to outfield because of his speed. He pretty much knew that he'd be an outfielder in the majors because of his speed. And then his bunny, like I said, his pop. That first game when he led off with that home run, I put it on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm sorry, hashtag Willie Mays Hayes. You know, Major League Two, going from Major League One to Major League Two, when Omar Epps stepped in for Wesley Snipes, he came out with the pop. He started beefed up in the offseason to get some power. So I kind of hashtagged Willie Mays Hayes. So that's probably what you'll see a lot on our Twitter feed this year, and on Facebook. I'll probably put the hashtag on Facebook also. I don't believe in that, but Facebook is trying to go to the hashtag, so I'll probably do something like that. But anytime you see me hashtag Willie Mays Hayes, we're talking about Billy Hamilton. So he comes in my 5 spot. My 6 spot is the other All-Star representative, Devin Mesoraco, our catcher. We're already getting a lot of comparison to Johnny Bench. Not only being able to stop the ball, being able to throw the ball. He's a hitter. He can run. He's just got the baseball intangibles that you're looking for. And everybody knows that Cincinnati strives on the catching position. Ever since Johnny Bench. We've had a lot of great catchers come through there, and I think Devin Mesoraco will be there for a few more years. I want to say they just got him before arbitration for 4 more years. So that's a good thing. I would hope in a couple, 3 years, when he's got a year left, 2 years left, they can get him to an extension. Barring that he's healthy, he's still hitting the ball. The defensive-minded catchers is what Cincinnati goes for, and he's just an advantage, having that pop and all that other ability that he has. And then, like I said, Tucker Barnhart's the same. Coming out of his draft, when he was drafted, he was the top defensive catcher, period. He was having trouble with the stick, came around, and we've seen him play in Louisville. We've talked to him. Very, very bright young man. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows baseball. So I look forward to Tucker Barnhart too. Hopefully he's not one of them that they use as trade bait. But Kyle Waldrop's another one. He's coming up, and I can't remember if he's the catcher or not. I might be confused now. Anyways, the Reds look for those defensive-minded catchers, and I see Devin Mesoraco once again being one of those top 5 catchers in the league. I think MLB Now top 100, he's in the top 100, top 70, top 60 players overall. Mesoraco is so, but he was top. I want to say he was number 6 catcher on one of their lists. 5 was the highest he got. He was above Yadier Molina in one of those. So how you like that? But like I said, Mesoraco, I can see him having another all-star season this year. Hopefully he keeps it up. My number 7 guy is Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce needs to he needs to just look at some of his film from 2014 and say, man, the only thing I had was my arm. Like I said, it comes down to getting the pitches. Votto's back. Hopefully BP starts hitting the ball. Hamilton gets on. Frazier. In my mind, I'm looking at this lineup. Like we've already seen people talking about not only the NL Central but the other divisions, and they're like, the Reds are like 25, 26 in the league. Like out of 30 teams, I don't see it. I know I'm a little biased because I watch every Reds game. I look at the names. That's one of my big things. I look at the names. You can look at Votto's name all day long and say, man, he was the NL MVP in 2010. Man, that was 5 years ago. Hasn't been that caliber of a player yet. He had injuries, some depression he went through with his father passing, stuff like that. But I'm big on names, and I look at this Reds lineup, and I'm like, last year we had definitely a top 10, if not a top 5, starting 5 rotation, and it just didn't pan out with the injuries we had and the sticks not going and stuff like that. And then this year, I see the opposite. Like, I knew it was time. Simon did his thing. You had to push him to the side because of what we could get out of him with the Tigers. And then Latos. Latos was I want to say he was he was one of the pawns to get Cueto some money, in my opinion. And I look for them. Cueto has came out and said that he wants a deal before spring training's over with, so he doesn't think about it during the season. And I think that's going to get done very soon. Whether it's a 2-year, 3-year extension, I haven't heard anything about what he wants, but I think it's going to happen. Back to Bruce. Bruce definitely has one of the best arms in right field in the National League, in the majors, of course, but in the National League by far. He needs to get that power back. He's still got the base running ability. He's just got to stay healthy and wait for his pitch. Number 8, I was torn between putting Bruce at 7 or 8 with this guy right here. We don't see enough of Aroldis Chapman, in my opinion, but he comes in at my number 8. By far the best closer in the game, in my opinion. I don't care what you say. Aroldis Chapman. If you did a draft by position and you came down to the closer, I know the closer is kind of like the kicker in fantasy football. He's supposed to go late round. Even if you're on a video game and you're drafting a team, you see those all players. Chapman's going to be up there top 20. I guarantee it. As a relief pitcher, I don't know how video games go this day, calling closers or whatnot. I know they have the closer role, but I think you just put a relief pitcher in there. But anyways, he shut him down, man. He just they showed a stat. It was our Thursday night trivia last Thursday. 106 out of 202 batters he struck out. He faced 202 batters and struck out half of them. I think it was like 53.6%, something like that. That's just mind-boggling to me. Like, you see that many batters and you strike out more than half of them to get the out. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Yeah, I know it has a lot to do with his left-handed. He's lefty. He throws 100+ miles an hour. He has a slider at like 89, 90 miles an hour, which is ridiculous in my mind. I can't even throw a fastball, like 78 miles an hour. So I couldn't imagine. My slider would be like 42. My changeup would be in the 20s. The changeup wouldn't even register. I think I can probably underhand pitch the ball faster than my changeup. But anyways, Aroldis Chapman comes in at my number 8. I see him still doing his thing this year. I don't think he's going to slow down at all. He's only up from here. He's still young. He's 25, 26, I think, this year. So I think he's still going to be elite up there. If his name doesn't come up for the Cy Young anytime soon, I'm going to start getting mad because I'm not sure. I don't think Mariano Rivera ever won one, but he's definitely chasing Trevor Hoffman, Mariano Rivera. I think he's chasing all them in the closer's role department. So he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. My number 9 comes in at Homer Bailey, my man right here, Homer Bailey, in his best year. Coming off his 2 no-hitters, coming into this year, I don't see a possibility where he could throw another one this year. At least a couple shutouts. I mean, I know Brian Price isn't big on letting guys throw over more than 100 pitches. But with the defense behind you, you can get a couple pitches. A couple 1, 2, 3 batters, which it's weird. In spring training the other day, I saw Sam McClure come in, one of the relief pitchers for the Reds. He came in and threw 8 pitches and got 3 batters out, and I was just like, 8 pitches. He threw 8 pitches, and I don't think there were guys on the Indians or whoever they were playing, the Royals, whoever they were playing. There were young guys, vying for positions on the team to make the 25-man roster. So I could see them getting eager, like, oh, there's a strike, first pitch, and they hit it. But I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, man, if one of the Red starters facing major league pitching could get in there and throw 10 pitched innings, sorry. They're looking at 80 pitches in the 8th. 90 pitches overall in the game. That would be awesome. That would just be amazing. But you get the major leaguers that can look for pitches, and you got to jump out in front. And Homer Bailey threw a lot of first pitch strikes. I think last year, him or Mike Leake were one of the tops in the NL Central. I know in first pitch strikes, And you can't do that too often because you know that everybody's looking at your scouting report saying, okay, this guy throws a first ball strike, regardless of what it is, fastball, changeup, two-seamer, whatever. They're looking for that strike, so you know you got to mix it up every once in a while. But I see Homer Bailey having another great season. Like I said earlier, he's coming. He won't be pitching until mid-April, probably 2-3 weeks in. By the time it's his third time around in the rotation, I believe he'll be in there. So I look for Bailey to have another solid year. He got that big deal last year, or some before that. I can't remember when. Big 6-year, $100 million, 5-year, $100 million, something, whatever it was. So he's got a lot to prove, not only to the Reds but to baseball. He's one of the young up and coming pitchers that can hit. I mean, he's got his stuff. He knows what he's doing. I think he has a weird motion. I don't know what anybody else thinks or if anybody else cares, but he does have a weird motion. But I mean, that helps. In Major League Baseball, that helps. You see the same arm movement over and over and over, then you see this guy like, you know, what in the world is this guy doing? Why is he coming at me like this? You know, it's kind of weird. He holds the ball down low for a while before he comes around with it or something. It's kind of weird, but Homer Bailey comes in at my number 9, and I expect him to move up my chart, you know, throughout the season. And my number 10 coming in, he had a great season. He has a lot of quality starts every year. Mike Leake. Mike Leake is, you know, he's going to be the number 2 until Bailey comes back. He's going to be right behind Cueto. And if he's not, the only reason I see him staying at the 3rd spot in the rotation is because, Price wanting to throw a lefty in there maybe. You know, like I said, you got Cingrani, Mahone, you got a lot of lefties. Dylan Axelrod, David Holmberg. You got a lot of lefties options. You know, you got a lot of lefty options this year. And a lot of managers don't see that. I guess that he looks at the lineup of the other team, you know, and says, okay, they got a lot of power lefties. Let's switch it up. Throw a lefty in there. Cueto, I don't think it matters. You throw Cueto at a righty or lefty switch hitters. I don't care what it is. He's going to get them. Same thing with Bailey. Bailey's got that 2 spot locked in, I believe. And hopefully nothing happens to Cueto. But if something happens to Cueto, I would see Bailey sliding into that ace role without a doubt. So, but Mike Leake comes in at my number 10. It was close because Leake gives you that quality pitch and he gives you them quality starts. I think his record every year is like it's double digits in both, which kind of makes me mad. But most of his losses he picks up, and he gets the losses because it's like 2-1. You know, he'll lose 2-1. You know, he'll give up. The Reds will score 1 or 2 runs for him, and then he'll give up 2 or 3 runs, maybe off a couple home runs, and then he'll pitch deep into the 7th, if not the 6th, or the 8th, and then they'll bring in somebody reliever to sit him down because he's getting tired or whatnot, and then he just loses the game. So I mean, his record last year was like 18-11 or something like that. He's been like that, double digits. So he gives you the quality starts, but he always has more wins than losses. You know, I like that. But I mean, you look back at his ERA and then the runs that were provided by his team, it's just the same as Cueto's. It's like it's not there, and that's where Homer Bailey I think is deeper than Leake, where he can control the runs down to 1 or 2. Where Leake had a high ERA last year, I believe. So, but it was close between Leake and Cozart, in my opinion, for that 10th spot. I didn't want to have 4 pitchers in there, but of course you had to go Chapman. He all-star. Simon was all-star last year. Cueto was all-star. So I had to have Cueto, Chapman in there. Bailey, like I said, Bailey missed the majority of the season with a forearm injury, but he's still Homer Bailey. But Cozart, that Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop we picked up from Detroit in the Alfredo Simon trade, in my opinion, he played 80-something games last year with Detroit, hit like 270, 6 home runs, maybe like 22 RBI, something like that. He was good. He was a good rookie for Detroit. So I liked the trade that we got for Simon. But one of Cozart's strengths is his fielding. He struggled highly last year in his at the plate, and he stayed in the 7th, 8th spot a lot in the lineup. But he came around when we needed him to. But his glove was tops. He was top 10 in the majors. Just in my opinion, because I watched almost every game. And when I saw that they picked up Suarez in the trade for Simon, I was like, uh-oh, they're going to put some pressure on Cozart. But if they hold two shortstops, not counting Negron, I know Christopher Negron can play shortstop, but I see him playing a utility role with the Reds. So I wouldn't be surprised if Suarez didn't come down to AAA to begin the season. And speaking of that, well, back to Cozart. Cozart and Leak, I'd probably give them a tie for my top 10. My number 10, but I don't really want to leave anybody out. But I'm excited about the Louisville Bats. Also, they open April 9th, 6:05 or 7:05 game. Thursday. It's a Thursday night, so Thursday we'll be on. But we got a lot of good things looking forward to the Bats. They're giving away 3 bobbleheads this year: a Todd Frazier and a Devin Mesoraco. And then the first one, April 11th, I believe, Saturday, is a mystery bobblehead. I'm not sure who it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Corky Miller again, I don't want to say a memory of Corky Miller, but just a thank you, a big thank you to Corky Miller for all he did for not only the Bats, but just the whole organization. He was up and down in Cincinnati too, filling that spot. I can't remember where he went. He's somewhere managing, helping somebody. I want to say Pensacola or Dayton. He's somewhere helping out the team. He's still with the organization, so that's awesome. But also the Bats, man. I'm looking forward to the Bats because whoever the Reds don't select as a 25-man roster up at the big club, man. I'm looking at the Bats lineup and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such an awesome season. You got Brendan Bosch picking up left field maybe for the Bats. He's a home run hitter, hit the cover off the ball. Jason Bourgeois will probably be in center again. Felix Perez, talented young guy, 25, 26-year-old or 24-year-old, I can't remember how old he is, but he's a talented right fielder. He can play multiple outfield positions. Suarez will be short. Dominguez will be playing first, third, second base. Top of my head, I can't think of who second base would be. But anyways, they're looking strong. And whoever doesn't stay up in the rotation with the Reds will be down with the Bats. So that's just gonna be amazing, just to be there and see. So be sure to get out there and catch some Bats games. Most of our trivia games, like I said, we'll have a ticket voucher for two field reserve seats, I believe they are. Just the one voucher is worth 2 seats. What you do is you just show them the voucher and they give you your 2 tickets, tell you where your seats are. You go sit down. You can't. If they have seats available, I'm sure they'll say, you want to sit here, you want to sit there, this is what we got, But I've only used one once before, and this was like 2 or 3 years ago. But go check out the Bats. I'm telling you right now, it's just amazing just to see the talent that they have. Each year they have so many talented players that are ready for that next level. You will see the guys, even the opponents that are there playing the Bats, are somebody's almost ready for the majors, if not ready, but they don't have a spot for them due to contracts, blah blah blah. So it's good baseball. It's not Pee Wee League baseball. It's not Winter League baseball, whatever you want to call it. It's not 8-year-old, 10-year-old baseball. They're young men, playing for their careers. So excuse me, my first drink of the afternoon. But the vouchers will be in the prize box for trivia winners. So be sure to check that out. Our NCAA tournament bracket will be up soon. This coming Sunday, today's Sunday, next Sunday, March 8th. Next Sunday, March 15th, is Selection Sunday. So as soon as them things get out there and they're ready to go, we'll have them up on I'll post it on the Facebook page and the Twitter page that it'll be available on the website. You have to go to the website, click on the link, go to Yahoo Sports, fill it out. Last year's winner was Greg Timberlake, aka Opie. Me and Opie went to high school together, known each other a long time. No, he did not cheat. No, I did not help him. But he won. He won by 3 or 4 games, I believe. He won. I want to say we set it up by games of 1, so he won most games. I'll try to find that picture and put the picture. Him and his little son Damien were nice enough to pose for a picture with us with the trophy. So that'll go to the winner. So I'll be looking out for that. Just go to our website. Right now it's still jandoobieshow.com. Hopefully sometime this month we'll get that changed. Everything costs here at the show, and it's all coming out of pocket. So That'll be changing really soon. We're not sure what it's going to go to yet because we have multiple options with our no budget music, music and entertainment. It's also on the page. You go to jndbshow.com. You'll see the Bluegrass Benchwarmers. You can click on that link, go to our sports stuff. Click on no budget music and entertainment. Go to our music stuff. My wife and I, the last 8 years, have been to multiple concerts, music festivals, with our buddy Axe at 107.3 The Point, and my buddy Louie Brangers with SplatterTribe.com. We were fortunate enough to go with them, get some interviews to help them guys out, see the bands, meet the bands, talk to the people. It was just an overwhelming experience, in my opinion. So my wife and I decided, hey, let's try to start this. Let's do this. Do this as well. Axe and Louie were nice enough to let us keep the pictures, kind of as a keepsake that some of them we took, some of them they took. We were there to help. So, but I was like, what? I want some of these as keepsakes. We got some personal pictures. No, not personal, but anyway, just check out No Budget Music and Entertainment as well. It's on the website. So that's where we're borrowing what the website's going to be called, because we're looking at blah 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 media, blah 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 entertainment, blah 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 sports entertainment, something. So it's still up in the air, but that'll be changed sometime this month. So be sure to check that out, and we'll have another episode. We're gonna set out a schedule to where an episode comes out once a month. I wanted to earlier in the year, or before this year started, do a bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. 1 week do a show with Kevin and I, and then 1 week have a guest. Guests are harder to get than so. But the next episode, this is an episode. Our next feature will be Kevin and I at the St. Baldrick's event at Pritchard Community Center this coming Saturday, March 14th, from 4 to 7. If you want to, come out there, guys. It's a lot of people have donated to me already. A lot of coworkers, a lot of family, a lot of friends. We appreciate everything, but if you want to donate a little more, come on out there and help it out. It all goes to the kids. So. What else? I always do this. I'm always forgetting something. But our next episode will be up soon. This one will be on the Bluegrass Benchwarmers episode 1. Will go to the archives. This will stay on the main page, and then our next feature we'll also throw on the main page. But our link for St. Baldrick's is still up there on the website. Go to the website, jndbshow.com homepage. Click on Bluegrass Benchwarmers, boom, it'll take you to the homepage of that. You'll see St. Baldrick's. Click on that link. It goes to our team, the No Name. You can donate online. You can donate at the event, cash or check. Checks written out to St. Baldrick's Foundation. It's fun. We're going to do this every single year. I've done it since 2012. Not counting last year. I missed signups last year. I completely forgot about it. I can't remember what was going on, but I plan on doing it for years to come. So. All goes to a good cause, and it's kind of getting chilly out here, so just thanks again for all the support. You guys are awesome. Look out for our trivia every Thursday night at 7. Thank you, Kingfish Restaurant, our sponsors, Susie Soaps by SusieSoaps.com, and we're out. Have fun, guys. Thanks.